Hi, this is Peter Darts Clairvoyant here. I'm just doing a brief video here today to just discuss how my spiritual and psychic events book. So you do sort of have to bear in mind sometimes we word things and we may sometimes miss something out. And the reason why I'm saying that is if you just see a spiritual night booked, it's probably that we've just forgot to put the psychic bit on. So do bear in mind, whatever show is booked, they're all the same right across the board. They are psychic and spiritual. The reason why I say that is because if you're expecting to just come for spiritual messages, that's not the case. Because sometimes I don't always get spirit. Sometimes it might be that I draw to yourself and spirit isn't coming through, or I'm not picking up anything. So basically, if I don't get anything spiritual, I tap into my psychic side and I give you messages about the present and the future. But who's to say that those psychic messages about the present and the future, who's to say they aren't coming from spirit? So in the sense, it's kind of all the same, but I just have to sort of portray that I'm not sort of telling you something that isn't true. So in other words, I'm not saying that every message is going to be spiritual, because spiritual, people expect it to be messages from the loved ones. So there's different ways it comes through to me, but I tend to find when I just tap into the psychic side first that the spiritual sort of comes in after. It sort of draws me to spirit. But like I say, I just want to make sure that everybody knows it's either on a psychic level or a spiritual, or maybe even a little bit of both. So that's that. Now, these shows we're going to do, which I don't think anybody's doing this. This is something unique to me. Maybe somebody might copy my idea in the future, who knows? But I'm doing what we call 3 sittings, because I know full well that if you just do the 2 sittings and you've got over 50 people that turn up, that the chances are of one of you getting a message, or all of you getting a message, should I say, is slim to none. Because I can't basically connect with 50 people within an hour and a half show. It just can't be done. So what I'm doing we'll start at 6:30. Well, we arrive at 6:30, or you will, should I say, and you'll get yourself sorted, perhaps a little visit to the loo, and go to the bar and get a drink and settle yourself down, and then hopefully all that sorted in about half an hour. And sometimes it does go over a little bit. There's always one or two a little bit late, and these things happen. And then 7:00 we start. And then at 7:00 we go straight into a spiritual and psychic messages. So for about 30 to 45 minutes approximately, we're going to be giving out these messages. Now, one thing I do want to let everybody know, because sometimes I will be on my own and I'm organising a lot, doing a lot of different things. So I'm probably going to be getting myself a nice little digital phone, and I'm going to be setting an alarm on it to just let me know that we've done 30-45 minutes. Okay, so don't think I'm being rude by doing that, or it's a bit naughty, because we don't want to run over, as otherwise it upsets the whole timing of the show and you having your break and everything. So that's very important. So if you hear my phone beeping, sometimes I'm not being rude or funny or cutting it short, as if say, oh, I want you all out, on time. It's not like that at all. It's I'm running the show accordingly, so everything gets done on time. So you basically get every part of the show that needs to be done. So I'm just organising myself. Okay, so I hope you're okay with that. So 30-45 minutes of doing the first show, then you'll go away for a break, perhaps go to the loo again and have a drink, okay? And that's all good. And then you come back and sit down. Also, one thing I did forget to sort of mention at the beginning is when you arrive, you're going to see an envelope on your seat. And this is the unique bit for me. So in that envelope, there is a personal message for you, because where you've sat, that's your message. So if you don't want to lose your seat or lose your message, I suggest you pick up your envelope and take it with you. Okay, but don't sort of move around and sit somewhere else and you've got someone else's message, because that message is meant for you. Wherever you sit first, that's your personal message. Okay, so then we do the second part of the show. I'm going to get you to open the envelope, so don't open them until I say so, and then you'll pull something out, and I will give you that personal message. That personal message will perhaps might take me 1 or 2 minutes to explain it. Hopefully a minute, especially if there's 100 people in there on the night. So we'll get through them as quick as we possibly can. But that's me a way of guaranteeing you that you've gone home with a message. Now, my first show we did it at the end. And once we did the show and we went to the messages, a lot of people left. And I thought, wow, why did they do that? They didn't get the message. So I'm not doing that again. So in the future now, I've learned a lesson with that because that was such a shame. They missed out. So now I'm doing the envelope messages in the middle. So everybody, when they leave, if they get up in early or not, I know you've had your message and I've guaranteed you that message. Okay, so then we'll have another break. Perhaps 20-30 minutes, sort yourself out, perhaps another drink if you want to, and then we'll get straight back on. But if you settle yourselves down before half an hour, brilliant, we can crack back on. And then we'll do the third part of the show where we'll give some more messages out. And that, in a nutshell, is how my shows work. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it and I hope you connect with what I say. And do bear in mind as well, if I do connect with Spirit, I don't know who's coming through. They may tell me their names, they may not. They may tell me about themselves, or they may just want to talk about you. I have no idea what's being said or what's going on. So basically, I need to sort of link with you and work with you a little bit to make sure it all fits. So either a yes or no answer if I ask you a bit of a simple question, or maybe you might want to give me a little bit of, input with it, but I don't want your life story because that's not how it works. I just want confirmation, basically, that you understand what I'm saying. And if you don't get it, don't worry about it. Maybe you just need to go away. I've had many people have come back to me on the night, they haven't got a bloody clue, and a few days later it's like the penny drops or somebody's told them, when they've asked about within family. But even if you don't ever get it, that's fine. Sometimes that does happen, but take the message. Because I always say Spirit brings the right message through. Could be something that you're going through and they've gone through it, and it kind of makes sense. So even if you don't know them, that right person's come through because they want to guide you because they've been through it. The psychic side, I tend to know all the ins and outs about it, what's kind of going on, so to speak. But again, to you might get it, you might understand it, or it might be about tomorrow, so to speak. So in other words, you'll have to wait for things to unfold. So basically, that's how it all works. So I hope when you attend, you enjoy it, you kind of connect with me, you get it, you understand it, and I hope we have a really great and enjoyable night together. Now, I've always had one thing that sort of felt I was a bit worried about. Sometimes, I don't know whether it's a dry sense of humour or not, but I've gone to some shows before and it's like the person medium comes on or whatever and they kind of put in a bit of a show on, they're a bit of a showman. And I've not really had that kind of rapport with the audience sometimes. It's like sometimes it's a bit dry the way it comes across with me. But what's ever so funny is I did an event a few weeks back in Wem, and the landlady, and she runs the club in Wem, she sort of pulled me over and whatever, and we had a little chat, and she said I was the best clairvoyant that they've ever had there, and we got talking about my showmanship, and she says, no, don't do it. She says, they had another guy here, I forget his name, was it David Hutchinson or something along the lines, I forget his name, he was quite a well-known medium, and basically she said, she didn't think he was very good. She says, he put the show on. She says, but people don't want the show, they want the real deal. They want the messages to be true and real. And she said, my messages were true and real. So she says, don't worry about your showmanship. You might sort of get it a little bit better as you get along and more confident, and your skills sort of pick up a little bit with it. She says, but don't worry about it. She says, just be me. She says, and that's going to be your success. And that was the best compliment I've ever had. and I kind of got what she said, so it was interesting. But I'll never forget this show because we had a bit of a laugh with this man that I picked out with his dog in spirit, and he was talking to him. The dog was actually talking to him, and we had a bit of a laugh with this Great Dane. So you could say that was a bit of a showmanship as well, but the message was real. That's the funny thing. It wasn't really show, it was real. It was solid, because the dog that I pulled through, the man got it and understood it, but we were all laughing about this bloody Great Dane because this man was getting old and, not much energy. And a great dog is like a bloody big thing. He's got to look after. But he mentioned that dog because Great Danes have bad hearts, don't they? And they can't walk very far. Might not walk very far, but the bloody dog will pull him along. It was funny. It was very funny. So yes, so that basically is how I work and what the shows are all about. So we're going to be showing this video now with all the shows, on the advertisements, the groups, the pages, so everybody knows what's what. So thanks very much for listening to me again, and I look forward to coming to a show near you in the near future. So thank you. Bye bye.